Hey, what's going on, Xbox and PC fans? It's Josh back once again, bringing you guys today my top 10 games of this generation so far. This will include PC games, it's Xbox and PCs, ground rules, no masters or remakes, and that's about it. Number 1. Getting this out of the way early, fellas. You know, a lot of controversy around this title probably on my list here, but it is my list, so it is what it is. Number 1 game, in no particular order by the way, is Destiny. I played the crap out of this game for probably a year and a half, ever since this game came out. I was really on board. There were some periods in between DLC where things kind of got stale from the initial batch of content, but I mean, I gotta say, if you guys are looking for a game to play with your friends as far as a co-op experience on console is concerned, this really is awesome. You know, the makers of Halo, a lot of the same base mechanics. Honestly, to me, looks a lot like they really just used, you know, the same engine, physics, just a lot of the same base game elements from Halo. And, you know, just kind of elaborated on that. There are 3 character classes in here. You got Hunters, Titans, and Warlocks. I honestly favor the Warlock because he can shoot electricity out of his frickin' hands like the Emperor does in Star Wars, so I don't know how you argue with that. But anyway, Titans are cool too, Hunters are pretty awesome, but really some good variation there on top of what Halo provided. But at the same time, you know, the multiplayer, because of that, wasn't quite as fair or as balanced. A lot of balancing going on in that game still, I believe, as far as multiplayer is concerned. But single player, you know, and playing with your friends, going through the quote-unquote story, which is not that much of a story, but going through it nonetheless was really enjoyable. You know, the raids, you know, grouping together with your friends and hopping in there and just going at it for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours until you beat something was just hugely rewarding, and reminded me of like World of Warcraft, but on console. You know, like it had a baby with Halo or something, which, like I say, it was my bag. I was all over that. So, you know, I'm kind of out of it now, waiting for Destiny 2, and we'll see what they do for that. But again, if you guys are trying to find a really awesome co-op experience on console, you know, outside of, you know, what's available now, which is basically the Division, this is about it, guys. It's an awesome shooting game. Highly recommend it. Go get yourself some Destiny. Number 2, coming up here with Grand Theft Auto 5. If you guys didn't see this coming, you don't have eyes. This game was phenomenal. Played this on the PC, still play it on the PC to this day, with mods and stuff. This game is literally just limitless. My freaking nephew actually plays the crap out of this game, and he's like running around as the Hulk and playing this game in the Star Wars universe, etc. But even outside of the mods that are available for this game on the PC, if you are on console, or hell, any console, even a 360, this game looks, or even a PS3, you know, this game looks and plays just outstanding. Tons of good elements to this game. There's driving, there's shooting, there's flying, there's riding bikes. This guy's hitting a golf club, doing yoga, scuba diving. I mean, you name it, this game's got it. Like I say, if you take this game online, or even if you don't, there's basically just limitless stuff that you can do, and a ton of time you can sink into this game and have an absolute ball. You know, I did think some of the base mechanics of this game could have used a little bit more work, like the cover system here. Pretty good, but you know, considering how big the game world is and how much stuff you can do, I think it held up really well. And you know, there's not the accuracy of something like a Battlefield or something like that, but really more of an arcade experience anyway. But just all kinds of stuff that's finely tuned as far as gameplay mechanics. And again, if you're able to take this bad boy online or get mods for it, you're going to extend the life even further. But highly recommend this game. I don't know much about the DLC, to be honest with you, if there's anything available for this game, because there was just so much in the initial release. But again, whatever platform you're on, however you can get your hands on some GTA 5, I'd highly recommend it. And yeah, that's number 2 for me, boys. So put it down on your list and pick this thing up ASAP. Number 3. This one is a PC game, so Xbox, I'm really sorry, but Xbox and PC channel here, if you didn't notice, it's part of the title, but yeah, if you guys have not played a Blizzard game on the PC yet, I would personally recommend that you run out to your nearest store, newegg.com, what have you, get a PC that can run this game, which should not be hard. Basically any PC that's been made in the last 5 years can pull this game off. And you will be very, very, very pleased that you did. Starcraft, an amazing Blizzard story. This is a little bit of the cinematic from the last expansion for Starcraft 2. And I think Legacy of the Void is the story of the Protoss. There's 3 races in this game. The Protoss, the Zerg, and the Terrans basically are the humans. And just a really, really epic story. From every race, every perspective, there's guys on all sides of the battle that have their own story to tell, and girls as well. Kerrigan on the Zerg is just an absolute monster, literally. But yeah, this game is just crazy bonkers. It's a real-time strategy game. If you guys have played Halo Wars on the Xbox or Command & Conquer, you're going to be very familiar with this. It's just a lot deeper, a lot more, just intricate and superbly balanced. Blizzard just balances the crap out of these games because there is a ton of competitive play in the StarCraft community in other countries with massive prize pools and stuff. These guys go really bonkers for StarCraft over there, but yeah, you may have gotten a taste again with like Diablo 3 on the Xbox or PlayStation, what have you, consoles, but I wouldn't even say that was one of their better games. I really wasn't too pleased with Diablo 3, kind of a hack and slash, top-down, RPG or whatever, but as far as RTS games go, again, StarCraft is really, really, really hard to beat. I don't even know what to say as far as what I would rather play for an RTS, because it just doesn't exist. But yeah, epic cinematics, really, really good gameplay, really, really good story with compelling characters on all sides, and yeah, a ton of content, because it's actually delivered over 3 different games to make one. Basically one for each one of the races, like I say. But yeah, if you guys have a PC, can get a PC, can borrow a PC, I don't even know what you have to do to get your hands on this game, but I would go ahead and just go for it. I definitely recommend StarCraft 2, and that is game number 3. Alright, moving on here, fellas. Number 4 is a game I really was hating on initially. I had really good experience with another game on my list that you guys will find out later on. Had some pretty high standards for open world RPGs going into this thing, and just didn't think it could live up to the hype. A lot of hype around this game when it launched, and you know how that is. You build something up, and then it's like, it's not as good as you thought it might be. It's kind of disappointing or whatever. And that is just not the case. The Witcher 3 kicked ass in all kinds of ways. It was really slow to start for me, admittedly, until I got to kind of know, movements and, inventory systems and, all kinds of stuff you have to learn in an RPG out of the gate. But, again, this is another game on here that has a really good single-player story. No multiplayer in this game, so that's a good thing. But the single player was just super, super strong, open world, go in any direction you want, and kind of follow the main story quest, at your leisure, but really everything available to you out of the gate as far as stuff to do, and just room to grow and get more powerful, and weapons, and get kind of intertwined with other people in the story as well. So great game, highly recommend it. Moving on, number 5. Oh, number 5. God, Titanfall. You just absolutely blew my mind out of the gate this generation. And I don't mean that in like a graphical way. Obviously, looking at this game, it uses a super old graphics engine. I think it was Source 2, if I'm not mistaken, which has been around since, my God, the Half-Life 2 days on PC. So we're talking 10 friggin' years or something like that. Maybe could have used an updated graphics engine there, fellas, but all the same, this gameplay is not to be fucked with. The gameplay is actually, you know what, fuck with it, because it's amazing. Look at this guy, he's jumping around, hacking bots, hopping off of walls. I mean, it's just crazy. It really is. The gameplay is outstanding in this game. If you guys have not played this, I think it's available for like $9 or $10 now with all the DLC. Go buy it. Definitely check it out. The gameplay is visceral, it's fast, you know, the mixing of mechs, and also just, you know, running around with your guy, you know, jumping out of these things, hopping on top of them, shooting them out, having the guy get out of the thing and try and shoot you, and you stab him in the face and, you know, hack his robot and send it down the street on a rampage or something. It was just bonkers. So if you haven't played Titanfall, guys, PC or Xbox One, hell, even Xbox 360, definitely recommend this game. Hop in there, get yourself some multiplayer action. It's not going to be anything at all for single player, so just a fair warning for you guys. There is kind of some quote unquote cinematic moments or whatever in multiplayer, but yeah, basically no single player, multiplayer experience only. But just what you get in terms of gameplay in this is a phenomenal experience. It uses the Microsoft Azure, you know, cloud servers for dedicated servers on this game, and it actually helps with some processing as well. But revolutionary stuff for multiplayer, fellas. Get in there, enjoy yourself some Titanfall. Moving on to number 6. Another controversial title here on my list, especially for you PC guys out there, which I can completely understand. Batman Arkham Knight. I had this bad boy pre-ordered on the PC. Really put a bad taste in my mouth initially because I already bought the game, and I bought it from a, let's just say, non-reputable online source, aka not, Steam or, whatever Origin Uplay. I bought it from like one of those CD key sites, so I basically was stuck with this game, and didn't pay full price for the PC copy, but still, I was sitting on this, waiting for it to get better for a long time, and it's still pretty jacked up. But played this game on the Xbox One, and even at 900p, this game looked freaking phenomenal. And if you guys have played the other 2 Batman games from Rocksteady in the past, if you do not play this game, you are doing yourself a massive disservice. Literally, punch yourself in the face if you have played the other 2 games and you have not played this game, because it wraps it up, and the story, in my opinion, is awesome. I know people were pissed or whatever about, you know, Arkham Knight and, his situation, no spoiler alerts, but I'm telling you right now, guys, if you're a fan of Rocksteady or the Batman games at all, pick this game up. The story is freaking awesome. It kicks ass. Batman yourself. Moving on, number 7. This is the game I was telling you guys that I was so judgmental of The Witcher because of. This game was fucking epic. Dragon Age Inquisition. Now obviously, it's a BioWare game. BioWare friggin' does their thing, fellas. If you played any Mass Effect games, you know what I'm talking about. The previous Dragon Ages had a huge following, but this game, if you look at it, it utilizes that Frostbite 3 engine, and I think it was a 30 FPS cap on console, so it had a resolution boost over stuff like Battlefield 4 at 720 because of, the lower frames per second. So it looks great even on the Xbox One, albeit 30 FPS, but still, great looking title on consoles, phenomenal looking on PC. If you can max this game out, just stuff like the ground textures, the lack of aliasing, the lighting in this game really can showcase a nice top tier PC, and make this game just look fucking incredible. I played this game on three monitors. You guys have seen some of this in my Let's Play with Star Wars and stuff like that, but really just made the cinematic, experience more cinematic. It really did. I mean, you just have this super wide, super detailed view of this world basically just surrounding you, and it was just awesome. Again, the story characters, you guys can kind of tell at this point I'm big on story. Love me some good single player, and this, even though it had some multiplayer, was kind of light. Didn't play a whole lot in the multiplayer because the single player is just that freaking awesome. You can kind of band together with whomever you want, pick and choose your people before you guys go out on a quest or at certain points in the game, And yeah, I mean, you've got people doing all kinds of crazy magic, you know, all kinds of crazy melee warriors and stuff, doing, you know, some super cool stuff in the melee department as well. But all around phenomenal game, Dragon Age Inquisition. And number 8, you guys are going to hear a lot of this word here coming up, Forza. In this particular instance, we're talking about Forza Horizon 2. In my opinion, obviously, this is, you know, the premier open world racing game available today. I have played, you know, some other titles like, you know, Project Cars and I forget the other title by Ubisoft, but there are some other racing games out there that I've played that, you know, kind of tried to do what this game, you know, does, but just not as well. I mean, look how polished this game is. You know, they share a lot of the assets, or all the assets rather, with the actual Forza Motorsport team, which has a huge, you know, obvious benefit to them. All the car models, even technologies as far as rendering are concerned, are shared between the two you know, companies, development teams or whatever, and it really pays off here. They have gone ahead and added things over and above that as well, like dynamic weather, dynamic lighting, you know, just all kinds of different systems. I mean, you know, for an open world game, this game is just insanely detailed. I think it has a 4x MSAA multi-sampling anti-aliasing solution applied to it as well at 1080p. So, I mean, just no jaggies to speak of anywhere in this game. Looks really, really, really sharp. And the 30 FPS cap didn't actually hurt the sense of speed for me in this game. I'm not saying it's going to enhance it for you, you know, being down from 60 FPS on Forza Motorsport, but if you get a chance to play this game, guys, I'd highly recommend it. It's open world, a little bit more arcadey, and just a phenomenal experience. Leading into this is number 9, Forza Motorsport 6. Dudes, if you are into track racers, you have got to get yourself some Forza Motorsport 6. I don't care if you're a PlayStation fanboy, I don't care if you're a Nintendo fanboy, you love some Mario Kart, that's great. I love Mario Kart too. But if you're talking about straight up track racers right now, the only game you're talking about, I mean, possibly Project Cars, but Forza Motorsport 6 is it. I mean, hell, even the guys that run, you know multi-thousand-dollar, you know, tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars simulation, the actual drivers, you know, talk about how amazing this game is. It's simulation, just the feel of the road and the cars. I mean, these guys have gone through such lengths to get this stuff done accurately, where the driving experience is, you know, as close to real life as possible. They've gone ahead and added, you know, rain. They've added nighttime, which has been, you know, requested for a long time in Forza Motorsport series. It's 60 FPS, unwavering, 1080p, just a crap ton of cars from like literally just every possible category or whatever, with just a ton of DLC. I actually have the year pass for this, so I'm going to be getting it all aside from that Porsche expansion, which I get. But Forza Motorsport 6, guys, if you haven't played it and you're into racing games, got to get yourself some of this. Really sweet game, guys, so check it out. And last but certainly not least, the coup de grace, Halo 5. You know, I did say no remakes or remasters at the beginning of this video, so obviously, you know, the Master Chief Collection, even though it is 5 phenomenal Halo games, wasn't going to apply, or be applicable rather, but God, Halo 5, man, I mean, 343 just coming out swinging. You know, I thought Halo 4 had a great story. Multiplayer didn't have as much legs as I would have hoped, but you know, they have a ton of Halo nuts working at 343. Like guys that just live and breathe and ooze Halo from every pore, whatever, just like I do, and they've done a hell of a job. I mean, you know, the choice to go with 60 FPS, dynamic resolution. I got a video on that. I check it out if you guys want to know what that is. But yeah, I mean, it just does this game so much in terms of you know, just the experience. The 60 FPS makes a massive difference in multiplayer. I would go so far as, honestly, guys, to say this is the best Halo multiplayer ever. Yeah, let that sink in a minute, man. I mean, Halo 2 was epic multiplayer online. First one on Xbox Live. Halo 1, if you guys had System Link, was redonkulous, you know, for when it came out. But this game, honestly, it does what I'm about to do to these cats here in this last little clip. And it just plain smashes people, bro. That's what Halo 5 does. Griffball, multiplayer, whatever you like. It's got it all. That's my top 10 list. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have anything different in your top 10 this gen, let me know what they are. If you get a chance to thumb up, thumb down, rate, share, subscribe for new content, be much appreciated. Appreciate you guys who are tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.